Hi, Carole,
Hello, Rob.
and hi, everybody out there. This is a testimony from Kingdom First Year Two. So, Carole's been on Year One, Year Two. We've come to the end of Year Two. So, we're just sharing about what the Lord has done and some of the experiences that we've been through and how the Holy Spirit has impacted us. Um, and Carole, I know the Holy Spirit's done lots of amazing things in your life. But yeah, let me hand over to you to start sharing.
Well, I would first off say that anybody that's interested in healing and deliverance course, learning about it, this is a really good course for you, and I'd highly recommend it. Rob's a really good teacher, and he gives good guidance. Um, for me, I've gained a huge amount of confidence in praying for people and for their healing. And it, whereas before I would sometimes hear a little voice in my head from God say, "Go pray for that person," and I would probably ignore it. Now I'm just out there and just go up to somebody and say, "Oh, I got a pain or whatever. Oh, would you like me to pray for it?" And sort of like it can happen 2 or 3 times a week with customers,
Yeah.
and they get healed. They get healed, and it's more like I'm expecting them to get healed. There's not this, "Oh, what happens if they don't?" They're
Yeah.
going to get healed. That's my thinking that they are. It's definitely going to happen. And one customer we went to, I kept saying to her all the way through, "Oh, I'll pray for your foot at the end," because I didn't want to pray for her at the beginning because I thought we might get the job. So like we wouldn't be able to do the job because that was the only reason we were there because she couldn't do the garden because of her foot.
Yeah.
So I waited till the very end. And yeah, she did get healed. She did
Yeah.
get healed and she would walk around. She was hobbling before and then she ended up walking normally.
That's,
Um,
I mean, let's just dwell on that for a moment. That is amazing, isn't it? I mean,
but
was this particular customer a Christian?
yes,
Yeah. So,
yeah, but yeah.
and was that something that she was used to being prayed for healing?
Um, I don't I don't know. I don't know her well enough
Yeah.
to be able to answer that question. But and then if I've not been praying for other people, you all of you have been praying for me. Well, I've been ill, and little by little, I've got better. Been chipping away at me every week, and yeah, I'm feeling hugely better in comparison with what I was a few weeks ago. And on Kingdom First One, I got delivered from the spirit of death. For somebody put the spirit of death on me, and uh, we cleared all that up. So that was great too. It was huge. That
Yeah.
was a huge experience.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the big one for healing is my father. Um, he's been healed. I prayed for him a number of times about different things. He got healed from a hole in his stomach where his intestines were hanging out, and that all got healed up. And he went around telling everybody, oh, telling all the nurses, "Oh, it's because I got prayed for."
Yeah.
But on the and then I prayed for his shoulder, and then that got free. And then the final time was his knee, and nothing was happening. So I just said to him, "Have you given your life to Jesus?" And he said, "No." So anyway, I said, "Oh," I said, "Would you like to?" I said, "You don't have to die." You don't have and he said, "Well, I'm not really sure." So I said, "Well, there was a man in Bournemouth Hospital that he had died. They'd gone off to write his papers up. They'd gone to write his papers up. The nurse had come in and said, 'Be alive,' and he sat up in bed." And then I said, "I got healed of having a hysterectomy. My daughter got healed of having Hashimotosis." And I
Yeah,
gave this other long list of stuff that happened. I said, "How can you not love a God that does all this for you and does all this for you?"
yeah.
So he said, "Hmm, yeah, okay, okay, I will. I'll do it." So, and then instantly he accepted Jesus into his life. His knee got healed
Yeah, I
because
know.
I didn't take my hand off his knee the whole entire time.
And
So,
I love that way of evangelizing because it's,
mm,
that's just so real. It's not like this is the way you evangelize, you say this, that, and the other. I mean, in real life,
mm,
that's not how it generally happens, is it?
yeah. So, yeah. So it's like, as I said, it's just like I expect it to happen.
Yeah,
There's not a doubt in my mind that it's not gonna happen.
yeah,
Healing isn't gonna take place. And, in my area, I'm starting, small beginnings, but I'm starting to get known for praying for people. So,
good,
yeah, so
good.
hopefully it will continue, and I
Yeah,
find it really exciting. It's really exciting to see what God does, and I've also got to when I read the Bible, it's really alive, and
yeah,
it's really, really meaningful. Every single word I read really means something, where it was just sort of like words before I started the course.
yeah, yeah. That's
I mean,
really,
they were words and stories, but now it means something,
yeah.
and that's really big for me.
And I mean, that's it. All that's really encouraging, and just your testimony is really encouraging. Couple of things that I just want to bring out before we close. One is that um, you have been you are a very effective minister as you go about your life. So that is just phenomenally amazing. But you had a blockage about praying, didn't you, and ministering, um, and that blockage was preventing you actually speaking out and actually doing the ministry. And that
Yeah,
when,
in year 1, yes. Yeah, I didn't like to tell anybody because I felt a bit embarrassed about it, but I couldn't pray, and I was prevented from praying. This is when the spirit of death was upon me at that time. Um, I couldn't pray, I couldn't read the Bible, I couldn't even listen to tapes anymore.
yeah,
Sort of like my favorite people that I like to listen to, I couldn't even listen to those, and then Um, we had the ministry, it lifted, it went, and I had the most phenomenal day the next day. I spent the whole entire day listening to tapes, praying in tongues and just praying and having the music on and singing along to that. It just the whole entire day. It was just fantastic.
and
So,
now you're just ministering galore, which is fantastic. So that was
mm,
just one reflection I wanted to put you away. The other was that deliverance from the spirit of death. I was in that room and actually Mary was doing
mm,
most of the ministry, and this is
mm,
an aspect of what happens in the course, which I think is really helpful. Is that Mary had never prayed for deliverance for anyone up until that point. See, I can see that she's agreeing with me on that.
mm,
And that's the kind of training that we need, don't we? We need to be able to learn how to do this because it's got to start somewhere.
mm.
And it was
Yeah.
powerful.
It was very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you, Mary, too.
Carole, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Just that's a really, really wonderful testimony.
Thank you, Rob.